gentlemen, they, thems, and all the people that love the all things wrestling. Welcome back to the Heel Heat. We are finally back after some scheduling issues. Of course, unfortunately, we are without the wise one, the all gray wannabe tribal chief. Mr. Paulinho was not able to join us, but we may have a special guest pop in whenever she is ready to. That is our tribal queen, Miss Honey, if she can make it. But until then, we are going to. I'm joined here by the ruler himself, freshly waxed and and crisply shaven. How you doing there, Benny? How's life?
Chilling out. Tired as hell, but I'm good.
Oh well, I hear that. I hear that. So, how do you feel about the state of our beloved WWE at this point?
I think there's some stuff happening that I'm not too happy with. Obviously, with some of the not releases, but like non-renewals of the contracts and things that have been, coming up. Of course, our truth. Um, like obviously, the Sarah Logan thing, like she's been out for a while. You haven't really seen her and all kinds of other stuff. And then the it's not necessarily guaranteed, but the Miz thing too. So like we're not like I said, I'm obviously not too happy about that. And of course, all of us have the Karen Cross agenda right now, where we just want this man to get some type of push and get more screen time than these bum ass comedians that they want to throw on here for Netflix and everything all the time. But like other than that, like if you look at like the landscape of how some of the stuff is being booked or whatever, like the women's Money in the Bank match, I absolutely love the way this thing is set up because as we're gonna talk about, I can legitimately justify any one of these women winning that briefcase. So it's just like I have my issues with certain stuff. I think I told y'all before. I think the women's division is bursting at the seams and a little overloaded, not overbooked, but overloaded. But I think we're in a good spot for the most part.
I definitely agree with a lot of what you said. I think again, I think the women are going to steal the show for some weird reason. We've gotten to a place where the women are overly talented and the men have talent, but there's no one. They only make you care about like five people, and everybody else is just kind of background noise until they decide to pull them up, and then it never makes sense when they pull them up. So I don't really know what the plan is. Not to mention there's all these rumors going around about TKO and that whole thing, and then the fact that Karrion Cross's contract is up, I think next month, and there has not been any contract talk. So I mean, I feel like if they lose him this time, he's not coming back, and he's gonna go be great somewhere else. And I feel like that'll be a loss for everybody, especially for the fans. But I digress because TKO apparently is more about their stakeholders than their actual brand or entertainment. So it's like we've fallen into a worse version of the Vince Vortex, but it's Dwayne, and it's like he ruined his own movie career, opened his own business. I mean, opened his own production studio so that he can pump out mediocre movies for $1 billion. And when that didn't work, he just decided to come back to WWE and ruin it with social media stars and fake Hollywood people. So, I mean, hopefully that's not the case, but it seems like that's where some of it is trending just to make shareholders happy. And I feel like when you have a wrestling company that's focused on shareholders and not fans, the wrestling company is going to go belly up. So, I mean, if Dwayne's plan ultimately is to bury WWE so much that Vince can buy it back for like pennies on the dollar, then plan's probably working. I hope that's not the case because then, I mean, Vince is childish, but I don't know if Vince is that childish. But I digress. Let's get into this show tomorrow. We're actually going to skip Worlds Collide because I don't even think y'all been keeping up with NXT all that much to like make Worlds Collide a full show. Not to mention, I don't know 90% of the talent that's on AAA to have an opinion. That was definitely that was definitely more of a show for Paul, but he's not here to join us at the moment. So we're gonna get into this Money in the Bank card really, really quick. And
I don't know if that was racist or accurate, but I agree.
I mean, he knows more about the Spanish wrestling scene. What do you want me to say? I don't know nothing, so I'm not going to speak on it. So we're gonna start with the match that I think is probably gonna. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that. I think one. I think the Money in the Bank matches are gonna bookend the show, or at least the men's Money in the Bank is gonna co-main event. That is my theory. But I'm gonna start with the women's Intercontinental title match where you have Becky Lynch trying again to go against Lyra Valkyria and take that title.
This right here. This is a weird match. And not weird from the fact that I don't think it's going to be good. It's weird because, like, I honestly, I'm not sure how it's going to go. Because you can argue, all right, Becky put Lyra over last time. Although she still stood tall after the Backlash match, she did put her over. She did take the pin. So you can argue, like, all right, it's time for Becky to get her win back. And then at the same time, you can also argue, Becky does Becky, like, the Intercontinental title, you can say the Intercontinental title does need Becky. The question is, does Becky need the Intercontinental title? Like, it's an accolade. It's something to put on her Wikipedia page and everything like that. But we know Becky Lynch is Becky Lynch. She is one of the top stars in the industry. So she like, and I'm not saying this like as this is her decision. Like, she's going to hit the whole Becky Hogan thing gets on my nerves that people try to bring up and everything. If people understood the Hulk Hogan thing and what he was doing behind the scenes, that saying wouldn't even be a thing. But like, I don't know if like the best course of action is to put the title on Becky unless you were planning on taking Lyra completely out of the title picture or whatever and having her move on to something else. And with her not being anywhere around Money in the Bank, it's just like, all right, then what is she going to do? Because my other thing is just like, all right, if you're going to put the title on Becky, why would you put it on her just to turn around and put it back on Lyra? If you're going to do that, then what you should be doing is putting the title on Becky to go put somebody else over in the long run. That being said, there's also this idea that's been floating around the community that this is going to be Bayley's return and Bayley's going to cost, one of them the match or something like that. And, it's going to lead to a triple threat somewhere down the line. Maybe SummerSlam, maybe Evolution, one of the two of these things or whatever. Who knows? But like I said, I'm just for argument's sake, I'm gonna say Becky just because her winning for like kayfabe and story reasons, because the stipulation is Lyra would have to raise her hand afterwards or whatever. And if Becky loses it, she can't challenge for the title again while Lyra is still a champion. I think you have more in Lyra having to raise her hand, even if it's her raising Becky's hand like an unconscious body, like raising her hand like afterwards because she got her shit back after Backlash. I'm about to cut my camera off because I got to go hop in the car because it's 11:39. I got to head off to work.
I got you. So I like a lot of what Benny said, but I am of the mindset that this is a setup for SummerSlam or for a bigger show, probably Evolution. And they just announced tonight the Night of Champions being the culmination of the King and Queen of the Ring. So I think either person...
Wait, they're doing it?
Yeah, they're doing it. They're going to culminate at Night of Champions. I don't know what Night of Champions is, but I know it's before SummerSlam. So... Because they announced the stipulation again that SummerSlam would be the number one contender who wins at Money in the Bank would then go on to SummerSlam. So I think I feel like this feud was just to elevate Lyra, but unlike the Women's United States Championship, I don't see a next person up, and I don't see like a pool of challengers for the Intercontinental title. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at, where I firmly believe that if you're going to do that, like if you're going to take the title off of Lyra, you got to have a plan. And I think that's why you have to give Lyra a signature win. Though I do think that this is a Bayley return. I think the Bayley return is to help Lyra, but in turn get the title match at SummerSlam or at Evolution, I should say, to win the, and then you move on with all parties involved going into SummerSlam. The next matchup is going to be the women's Money in the Bank match, which we have Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer. This one is honestly it's a anybody's game, kind of sum total kind of matchup. I believe. I don't think you can really go wrong because everyone kind of has their own stake in what winning the Money in the Bank can do for them. I think the most interesting one though would be Naomi, just because putting the title on Naomi puts her square in the crosshairs of Bianca and Jade in that story, and it gives that story a lot more stakes than just a blood feud where, I don't know, Naomi's obsessed with Bianca and doesn't like Jade because she's an outsider. Like, that was cool for the moment, but I don't believe that there's much else that you can really do with that right now, so you need to kind of add something to spice that one up. I don't know where Benny is, so I'm just going to move forward.
Hopping in the car. Give me like 2 seconds.
Okay. So we're gonna give him 2 seconds. I'm also gonna see if our special guest is going to join us.
All right, I'm back.
And he's back.
All right, so real quick before I go on to the to the women's Money in the Bank, I am gonna say I know, especially Honey, not this past Raw, but the week before, got like she was completely done with Lyra after Lyra fucked up her lines and everything. So she was just like, done. No more of that shit. I do like the fact that she recovered this week. That chick had me dying when Becky came out and started trying to talk, and then Lyra just went full on, like, just straight up hood chick was, nope, jump. So, like I said, I do like the recovery there or whatever. So I am happy that it seems as though this is giving her, a lot more character or whatever. Me personally, again, she was falling into that category where it was just like, all right, well, she's one of those wrestlers or whatever where I don't need much character from, because it's just like, go out there and beat the shit out of somebody and I'll be happy. But I'm not going to sit up here and be mad that she's getting the extra character and stuff, to help her out. As far as the women's Money in the Bank match, this shit, good Lord. As I was saying before, you can make a justification for anybody in this match winning this briefcase. I'm not going to sit up here and fall into the category of just hating on Rhea Ripley for the fact that she's one of the top stars now, like most of these other people are doing. That's not my thing. I will say that for me personally, she would be last in line because she doesn't need it. This is the same thing along the lines of Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble. Like, why? Go fucking just walk into somebody's office and give me a title shot. Chances are you're going to get one. Like, your name alone carries that. I don't think she needs that. I think these gimmick things or whatever need to be put on people that need to be built up and things like that. Like, somebody like her doesn't necessarily need it. That being said, the prospect of the merch for Mommy in the Bank, it might be a little too tempting for TKO and all of their money grab shit running around like Mr. Krabs and stuff or whatever. So, like I said, it's a possibility with her. Alexa Bliss is a little iffy just because of the fact that it's just like, what has she been doing lately? and like you put her back in the title picture or whatever, that means you kind of bring in Charlotte along with her since the two of them have been interacting. And I don't really want that right now. Then you got Stephanie and Julia. Both of them fresh NXT call-ups and everything like that. I don't know what you would do with either one of them if they don't win right off of the bat. So I think that they're go ahead.
Because tonight hinted at what's next. That's why I don't think Julia or Stephanie are winning.
Right.
Julia directly interacted, and this is the second week in a row she's interacted with Zelina, and she saves Zelina tonight from getting attacked by Chelsea and her crew, only to turn on Selena and hit her with a finisher. So I think that's the feud that they're building to, at least to Evolution, if not SummerSlam. And that I think is probably what they're going to do with Julia. Again, Stephanie was only on SmackDown because,
because of Money in the Bank.
Because of Money in the Bank. But I think the plan might be to place them in the mid card to elevate those titles because of how much they've elevated the NXT brand already with their presence. I feel like to use them in that middle section to kind of build them up and build the division up around them while you tie up a lot of loose ends with the top women would probably be the smartest thing to do, which is why I don't have either one of them winning right now. Not to mention Julia winning the US Championship and then down the road, probably around Evolution, if not a little after after SummerSlam, would make sense for them to them, because I think I heard that Jordynne Grace is supposed to be on SmackDown. So Julia versus Jordynne Grace, again, that run back, and then having like the short blonde muscle mommy be the US champion for a while would do wonders for that title.
Barb. Speaking of which, if that's what it is, somebody actually did bring up the possibility of a it was initially set up as Stephanie versus Lyra at the Evolution, but you can go honestly either way with that one, because Stephanie versus Becky would hump too. Because good lord, the two of them beating the shit out of each other would be fucking amazing. Like just like chef's kiss. Give me that.
I get that, but I also look at the fact of who would be better in the Queen of the Ring tournament. I mean, Lyra has the validity because she was in the finals, I believe it was last year.
Yeah.
So you kind of have that storyline of her trying to win, and that's her trying to get into the main event scene. I just don't think that there's a lot of payoff for that, because I don't think you put the title on her, even if she goes to SummerSlam. I don't think you put the title on her. So there's that. But I do think at least having Becky Lynch as that champion, or as Queen of the Ring, because again, that is an accolade that she does not have, and it is adding to the accolades that she does not have, would be massive for her. And now that you have Charlotte back, Charlotte and Becky and say Bayley, for example, in the Queen of the Ring, only elevates the tournament to the level that you want it to be at, and to make it feel important. Plus, that number one contendership going into SummerSlam feels all the more important. It feels like a second Royal Rumble in a lot of ways, especially because whoever wins the Money in the Bank is always going to be lurking. And then you have the prospect of Asuka possibly coming back this summer. So like you could load up the Queen of the Ring tournament, which is why I don't think necessarily she needs to win the Intercontinental title now. But it's not like she can't enter the King of the Ring as Intercontinental Champion.
True.
It's really a toss up. Like I don't think it hurts or helps the title if either one of them wins or lose. Like it doesn't really matter who wins or loses, honestly.
So getting back to the picks or whatever. So I'm thinking. I know you went the route with Naomi. I'm on that same wavelength, but I'm actually gonna pitch something a little different, and I'm gonna make this my pick as well. I'm gonna take Roxanne, and for reason being, I was listening to somebody else, and now this is sitting up there, and this is like trying to not what this isn't 100% what they said, but like the idea that over the last 3 or 4 years, the Judgment Day themselves have kind of sort of been the focus of Raw or whatever around the summertime or whatever. So you have this thing that's building up between Roxanne and Finn. They have their own little thing that's kind of sort of forming or whatever within the Judgment Day and everything. And even though she's not like a full-fledged member, I can see, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you, this is part Liv Morgan agenda. Liv is starting to beef with Io again. Imagine the prospect of Liv winning the world title with Roxanne in the Judgment Day with the briefcase. So I'm sitting up here and I'm just like, bro, like, just imagine the fucking, like, the tension that you would have in there at all times with the two of them sitting there, even if it wasn't like a long-term thing. Even if Liv was to say win that title or whatever, and then right after she won it, guess who's showing up? Liv gets her hand raised. Next thing you know, you see this little pop rocks just come out of absolutely nowhere.
I would personally love that.
So I'm just like, I'm thinking of the prospects and stuff. I love the idea of Naomi winning. I actually want her to win. But like at the same time, like I said, just for some variety, give me Roxanne.
Yeah, no, it makes it that much more interesting. It makes it that much more interesting. So I can't even get mad at it. So moving on, we can, matter of fact, let's jump into the men's Money in the Bank, because this one is a weird hodgepodge of people that I feel like it's very targeted towards a specific person winning. So the men's Money in the Bank match would be Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, Penta Andrade, and El Grande Americano. And yes, I said that as Americanized as possible, because big dog, this is crazy. Why this man is in and not Karrion Kross or someone, or even like a Bo Dallas, but it's El Grande Americano. I don't know what they're doing with Chad and his faction, or I don't get it. I personally, I don't get it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, I feel like if you were gonna do this, it would have made more sense for Chad to be champion. So at least it makes sense why everybody's chasing Chad instead of Chad just attacking luchadors. So I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, hold on, let me turn this thing down real quick. I'm just like, this is it's looking like it's so pointed towards Seth that it's like too obvious.
Yeah.
And I think that CM Punk not getting into the match is the setup to keep Seth from winning. Because he falls into, like, character-wise, I could see him with Money in the Bank. It makes perfect sense character-wise. But he falls into the same category with me that Rhea Ripley does. He does not need. You don't need the crutch of that.
I don't know if it's so much of a crush as it feels like it's something that, like, they could break the glass on if they do decide to keep the title on Cena until, like, his last day, and then you have Seth cash in on it, so they can keep the whole heel thing going. And I'm not a fan of the whole heel long-term champion thing, because we just went through it like 5 years with Roman, and then you get like a year break with Cody, and then now we're back to this whole mega heel, hates wrestling fans kind of thing. And it's just like, yo, this is actionably exhausting. Like, this is actually kind of annoying. But then
Yeah,
I
I hate-
also
yeah, I hate-
understand I understand their logic because they're like, well, when we have a babyface champion, you guys say they're boring, and it's like, yeah, because actually book them in real feuds with real matches, like do the thing the right way, and I just don't understand why they it's like it feels almost impossible for them to nope, don't want to do that. It feels almost impossible for them to book baby faces the right way.
which is crazy to me because it's just like you have templates.
Yeah,
Now, granted, I know you can't sit up there and use everything exactly the same as what it was from before, but you had a guy in this thing like Austin. I know you can't book anybody exactly like Austin, but you can use the mold. Where it's just like, yo, you have a baby face that goes out there, raises hell. Every once in a while goes out there, gets his or her comeuppance. But the way they like doing it nowadays is they like doing it the Jey Uso way. Jey Uso is over as hell with the crowd and everything like that, but like every time I turn around, this dude is on his back. And it's not even from anybody significant. It's like my man is on his back for Logan Paul.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. Hold on, wait a minute. Guys, why is this not... Come on. Keep talking. I'm trying to get Honey on here, and it's just not... It's like they're not letting me scroll to get to her, which is kind of really freaking annoying.
Alright, so basically going over what I'm thinking this match is going to end up being. This is like almost the complete opposite of the women's Money in the Bank match. There's a whole lot of reasons why I can pick people to not win this.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever, like I was saying, El Grande Americano. As of right now, he's a joke character. Why are you putting the Money in the Bank on him? He did that shit with Otis and it didn't go anywhere.
It did not go anywhere at all.
So after that, you got Penta. Penta would be a good look, but I don't think that they want to throw him into the world title picture right off the bat.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
To me, Andrade's in the match to just be a body and a spot monkey.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't make any sense.
After that, it's like I said, Seth Rollins. Seth, to me, like I said, he's the most likely to win, but at the same time, like with me, it's just like I think there's too much setup for him to not win.
Right.
On top of the fact that this, once again, this is Money in the Bank. This is one of those pay-per-views that could be considered one of the big four, one of the big five. What does that also say? That means big returns. There's a certain tribal chief that hasn't been around for a while. So I'm just like, I can see like the different setups of things. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna say that I think it's time to put the briefcase on the LA Knight.
That is an interesting way to put things. Why is this set up like this? This is annoying.
Yeah, and I did forget that Solo was in the match too. It's another thing where I'm just like, no.
Yeah, he doesn't make a lot of sense.
Nah, honestly, with him, just keep building him versus Jacob. And please, for the love of God, do not pull the Austin Theory thing again and have him win the briefcase to cash in on the mid-card title.
Yeah, I don't see that at all. This computer is actually... I don't understand Streamlabs at all. Because it has us in like the side queue, but covering the button to get to her is like the affiliate link, and it doesn't let me scroll. It just shows that there's one person in the queue, but they're not showing the queue button. This is why we let Paul handle the tech stuff. because they don't allow. Why?
And I can't do shit neither because I'm on my phone. So.
No, I get it. I get it. It's just it would make more sense for me to like be able to move this around, and they're not letting me move it around the way I want it to. This is how you know we're live, because we're just going through the motions of trying to get this thing going the right way.
That's half of the fun.
I would not go that far at all.
I mean, it's annoying, but like
yeah, because it doesn't let me scroll. Nope. Oh, what is happening? Why is it not letting me add people? This is the most frustrating thing in the world, because it's just not letting me add people. Why would you make an interface like this? I don't understand. I do not understand this. Stop this. Stop this madness. Stop this, because she's like right there, and I see her, and they won't let me scroll up to add her. Why are you like this, Streamlabs? Like, this is why I don't like when... Alright. I don't know what's going on. I don't.
In the meantime, while you're trying to get that,
yes.
While you're trying to get that situated,
I don't like it's just. Yeah.
Just a PSA.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody that like could be thinking, oh man, me this loves me. Stop it! For the love of God. I'm so sick of this shit. Every time I turn around and open up Instagram or Twitter, somebody's got a stalker.
Yeah.
The shit that went down with Roxanne the other day. You got the guy that's getting getting arrested outside of the performance center looking for Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Get a fucking grip, people, please.
Yeah. It is actionably disgusting. It is actionably disgusting. Oh my god. Why is this just not working? This is not it, and I don't understand this. Oh, we have a question. What do you guys think is England's national dish? I don't know. I didn't even realize England had, their own cuisine. I would say beans on toast. Because y'all the only people that would ever eat something that disgusting.
I'm not even going like hazard a guess at that. Because the first thing that's going to pop out of my mouth is going to be something highly stereotypical, and I'm just going to not.
That's why
I'm not going to allow myself to get canceled.
That's exactly why I said beans on toast. That is precisely why I said beans on toast. No, what the fuck in Christmas nuts? What is happening now? Now I've just completely gone off the edge. I've gone off the edge. Things are going off the Come on. Come on. Why is everything getting smaller? This is what I'm not liking about this at all. I am sweating so badly. This is ridiculous. Why can't I add people? I love how this is just so live that we're just not even editing it. We have one more match left. Nope.
I love that y'all can hear my car. And shout out to the jackass that was just doing 30 miles an hour and 65 miles an hour zone. That's the other thing. Paul has like a computer lab set up in his house too.
Right. And it's just like me and my little Pee-wee laptop is just not, for some odd reason, Streamlabs just does not want me to be great. And it's literally just like this little thing in front of me where they will not move their thing.
It's not allowing you to drag it either?
No, it's not.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's just like, it's there and it's like, yo, but it's in the way. And it won't let me scroll, it won't let me move up, and I don't understand why this is a thing. Oh, this is annoying. Because I should.
I'm gonna blame it on TKO.
I am too, because I should just be able to tap on the Q thing and it should just add the person. It is just not letting me. Can I drag her? Oh, no. Why is it not letting me? Oh! And it's literally because this thing is just like sitting here on, like, it's not making sense. And I don't want to cut the stream, but I may have to cut the stream and then come back on. I just don't want to do that because this is not making a lot of sense and I don't understand why it's not allowing me to scroll or move or maneuver this thing at all.
Alright, so real quick heads up. I am 3 minutes away from my job right now.
Okay, so give your predictions on the Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul.
I'm gonna say Cody and Jey. I think Logan's in that to take the pin. And I don't know. I don't see because unless we're talking a situation where somebody's going to win the Money in the Bank on the men's side, and then just cash in on one of them on Jey or Cena, more likely eight. Then I see them winning because you still have the match on Monday with Jey and Gunther. So I would assume they want to send Jey into that match, even though he may be beat up.
Mm-hmm.
I assume they want to have him going into that match strong. And it's like this is Cody's first match back since WrestleMania, so. That's pretty much where I'm at with that.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I get it. I understand. And honestly, they got beat up tonight, so you know how the rule goes. Once they get beat up, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We are working through the technical problems live in person.
Always have to laugh during the stretch of this little road between where I get off the highway and where my job is, because it runs like middle of a forest. So I'm always just waiting for the hockey mask to hop out.
Well, I hope you know, Honey says she has a bone to pick with you. So I don't
know.
I don't know. I have no idea what this is about. I'm staying out of it. I don't know what's going on. I'm staying completely out of this one. I don't get it.
I mean, wait. Maybe it's the fact that I said Cody was going to win.
He said he knows what he did. I feel like I'm looking at death threats right now. I don't know what's going on. We are just waiting. Oh, did you do something last summer to piss her off?
I didn't do a
I didn't
thing.
do a thing.
She says, you know what you did last summer. I don't know. I don't know. Where are the bodies buried, Benny?
I did not do anything
anything
unless it was
unless
good,
it was good.
and I take full
And I take
responsibility.
responsibility.
Apparently, she never forgets. I do. I do not understand what is going on right now. This is a level of insanity I've never seen in my life. She said, "Benny, I'm coming for you," with the Booker T voice. This is absolute insanity.
Hulk Hogan.
Hogan.
All right, I'm gonna cut the camera and mute. I am still here,
Mm-hmm.
but I got to go check in and do this turnover with my with the other guard.
Copy that. We're waiting for our technical guy to fix the issue.
The uncrowned champion joined.
Yeah. Finally. Can you hear me? Are we loud and clear?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Because for Christ's sake, for some strange reason, my there we go. My freaking computer doesn't want to show me things. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna get you.
Well,
I'm gonna get you two sledgehammers. One for the long
God, I got a computer to do more of this stuff, and it just betrays me. Again, I will never understand. By the way, we are still live, so I mean, this is live and in living
I
color.
gathered that. But it's quite entertaining. You know, it's only 4 matches recovering, so it just adds to the drama of the heel.
All I'm saying is, I'm sorry, we are not as professional as your 27 other jobs, but we keep it out here from the gutter. We know you out here being Hollywood, out here getting press passes and going to shows and getting booths and everything. Yeah, you thought I wasn't gonna blow you up and shout you out? Because we gonna talk about it. We got time today.
We got to talk. We definitely
we got time today.
And there's more coming down.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna let you self promote. I'm gonna let you go off because I ain't got nothing to do. I ain't got nothing to do.
I appreciate
it.
Thank you for that.
We already went through our predictions, so I mean, in honorary fashion, my queen, the floor is yours.
Yes.
I ain't do shit.
I'm gonna just let y'all have this. I'm gonna mute and I'm gonna just enjoy.
Since you're here now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first lady of Heel Heat speaking wrestling with Honey. If you ain't know, now you know. I'm just happy to be here. Happy to see my brothers. Happy to see the gang all together. But however, there's a man right here that has self-proclaimed himself the ruler with 3 exclamation points. And he's going to sit here and act like he don't know what he did last summer. He's going to act around like we forgot. Benny, you know you talk a lot of shit. You know that, right?
I ain't did nothing.
Benny, you talk a lot of shit. But you know what, Benny? I got a bone to pick with you.
What I do?
I'm mad at you, I'm mad at you, Benny.
What I done did this time?
What didn't you do? Don't you see what's happening around you? Look around you. Have you seen SmackDown lately? Poison,
absolutely not.
Poison and absolutely desecrating my TV screen with this piece of shit Logan Paul in my face, holding a world championship in his hand next to John Cena, who is the 17 and unseen last real champion. And it's all because of you.
It is not my fault. I had nothing to do with this.
This happened because you last summer wanted to go run your mouth about this piece of shit being the next world champion. So I got a bone to pick with you now. Because you did say that a year ago. Am I right, sir?
I don't know about next. I did say you was going to be a world champion.
Specifying anything, but you did say Logan Paul, future world heavyweight champion.
It's because he's going to be. You know it's going to happen at some point.
It's because you had to say the fucking word and just say it out to the universe. And now the universe caught it. And look what's happening.
You put the juju out there.
I have never conflicted in my entire life because of you, Benny. I'm sitting here watching my favorite Uso on one team. And then I'm sitting here watching the John Cena I have always wanted on the other team. And all I want to do is just swap because it just doesn't fit right with my soul. I have to root against my favorite Uso because of this damn crybaby. But then on the other side, I root for John Cena because he's aligned himself with Logan fucking Paul. This is your fault, Benny.
This is all on Triple H. This has nothing to do with me.
This has to do.
Somebody heard. This has to do. with John Cena's heel turn not working the way that they wanted to, and they're trying to give him some heat by attaching him to the heat magnet.
First of all, Logan Paul is not the heat magnet. There's only one heat magnet, and he is the greatest luchador to never wear a mask, and that is Dirty Dom Mysterio. So we not gonna sit here and dub Logan Paul anymore. Anything. So that's all I gotta say, and that's my bone to pick with you.
You know I still love you, honey.
I missed you guys.
Listen, I was not getting in that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. All I did was second an opinion. I ain't saying nothing else. Nathan.
I mean, listen. All y'all wanted. All y'all.
I didn't want this. I saw what they wanted. I did not want this. I did not want this one bit. This is my nightmare. Like I'm not a big John Cena fan, so seeing this happen, it's literally my nightmare. He's literally ruining wrestling for me.
It doesn't
like he's
necessarily feel like my nightmare. Okay, my nightmare was last year WrestleMania 40 when the story was set. That was my nightmare. This feels like an acid trip.
That's fair.
or like a really good joint that is just smack the life out of me. And I'm just like, what am I watching? The most bugged out cartoon.
Yeah, no, that's what it feels like. The most bugged out, really bad Scooby-Doo verse cartoon version of what is I don't get it.
But at the end of the day, this is what John Cena said would happen. He said he would do it. He said he's going to ruin wrestling. I can't think of a better way to do it than aligning himself with the likes of
that guy. Yeah, that guy.
Who keeps getting away with knocking Jey out like it's cute.
Yeah, I'm listen, he hits hard, but he don't hit that hard.
No, did not just say I had an issue with that.
What?
So didn't I just say I had an issue with that?
Even though I will say that new finisher.
I don't care about what you just said.
That finisher does go hard though. I'm not even gonna lie.
But anyway, I had to get that off my chest, Vinny, because it's all his fault.
Well, since we are speaking, we just finished speaking on the John Cena Logan Paul match, even though there really isn't much to comment on it. What are your picks? After you, because I know you watched the show. We just seen you watch the show, so I know you watched the show.
We watched the show. We know you synced it.
We know you synced it. We know you wasn't happy, so we know you synced it. So
I'm very conflicted, but I did make my pick, and my picks have remained the same. I am rooting. Well, not rooting. I am picking John Cena and Logan Paul to beat Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes.
Even after the stand tall tonight. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think so.
But I feel like that's a TKO move.
However, this coincides with something that could happen for the men's Money in the Bank. Because after your night and reporting online, there's lots of things surfacing about someone could be out of the match for the men's Money in the Bank tomorrow night and get replaced.
I've heard similar.
There's a big.
Y'all hearing stuff I ain't hearing. I was at work all day. I ain't hearing nothing. Somebody enlighten me.
I feel like there's a bigger plan in place. We talked about it with Women's Wrestling Talk and just now for the Smackdown Watch Along, but he believes, and he might be right, that this whole R-Truth thing isn't what it seems.
Okay, that's not what I heard.
I get it, but just hear me out. R-Truth isn't necessarily really just yet. He just has his contract expiring What is the
What
purpose
is the
of
purpose
Money in the
of Money
Bank,
in the
y'all?
Bank, y'all?
To get a
To
contract.
get a contract.
That would be diabolical.
And why
And
would
why
John
would
Cena
John
say at
Cena
the
say at
end,
the end,
you can't
you can't
handle
handle
the truth?
the truth?
The
The
truth
truth
shall set
shall
us
set
free.
us free.
The
The
truth
truth
shall save
shall save
wrestling.
wrestling.
And the
And
truth
the truth
shall end
shall end
his childhood
his
hero,
childhood hero,
John Cena.
John Cena.
But are we getting NWA truth or are we getting goofy truth?
We are
We
going
are
to
going
get
to get
not our
not
truth,
our truth,
not little
not
Jimmy
little
Juice,
Jimmy Juice,
not Jake,
not
not K
Jake, not
Quick.
K Quick.
I don't even
I
think
don't
we'll
even
get
think we'll
NWA,
get NWA,
TNA, our
TNA,
truth.
our truth.
We're not even
We're
gonna
not
get
even
Ron
gonna get
Cena,
Ron
y'all.
Cena, y'all.
We're gonna
We're
get
gonna get
Super Truth.
Super Truth.
Oh no. Oh god.
Mhm. This is gonna be
This
a
is gonna
different
be a
truth.
different truth.
I don't think it's
That-
I
gonna
don't
be
think
the
it's gonna
happy
be
go
the happy
fucking
go.
truth. I think it's
I think it's
Super Saiyan
Super
truth
Saiyan truth
coming
coming
in
in
pissed off
pissed off
and for
and
vengeance.
for vengeance.
You know, of all the swerves I've ever heard you predict, this might be the steepest turn on Rainbow Road I have ever heard.
And
In my life.
I honestly
I
can't
honestly
fully
can't
take credit for
take
this.
credit for
This
this.
has to
This
go
has to go
to my boy
to
Will
my boy
Ferrell,
Will
the
Ferrell, the
councilman
councilman
on
Good.
on
WWE.
WWE.
He came up with this,
came up
and
with
he
this, and
said
he
for the
said
last
for the
couple of
last
days,
couple of days,
he's like,
he's like,
I feel like
I
our
feel
truth
like
is
our
gonna
truth
somehow
is
get
gonna somehow
inserted
get
into this
inserted
match.
into this
Our
match.
truth's
Our
gonna
truth's
win
gonna
Money in the
win
Bank.
Money in the Bank.
And he's been
And
saying
he's
it
been
just
saying
as
it
a
just
joke.
as a joke.
But now,
But now,
with things like
with things
tonight,
like
it
tonight,
makes
it
sense.
makes
And the
sense.
way
And the way
Seth took
Seth
out
took
LA
out
Knight,
LA Knight,
there's
Mhm.
reports
there's reports
surfacing right
surfacing
now
right
saying
now
that
saying that
LA Knight
LA Knight
potentially
potentially
taken out
taken out
or could
or
be
could
taken
be
out
taken out
of Money in the
of
Bank.
Money in the Bank.
And it wouldn't
And
hurt
it
him.
wouldn't hurt him.
No, it wouldn't. It also does. Him being in the match doesn't make sense to me because I don't think, with the landscape of the division and how it looks, for him to be in the world title picture right now.
Think about it,
Think
y'all.
about it, y'all.
Think of the last,
Think of the last
El Grande
El Grande
Americano
Americano
in our truth.
in our truth.
I don't even know why he's in that match. I truly don't.
So real quick, the one that I actually heard was that El Grande Americano was going to be the one that got removed.
That's what I'm thinking. That makes sense to me.
And it was for somebody else, not true, but somebody that Honey would be overly ecstatic to see. I just don't think they're going to actually put him in a ladder match.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who, Cross?
Cross?
No, Roman.
Oh.
No.
No.
Oh.
I don't think they should.
I don't think they should do it.
I don't think they will do it because aren't they renegotiating his contract right now? Why would he show
They're
up?
trying to. They're talking about it.
that and the fact that you have Seth coming out strong every week. The last time we saw him, he was speared by Braun Breaker. Roman needs to come back for Seth. What he needs to do is either come back before Seth gets that briefcase, or he comes back after Seth gets that briefcase, tries to make an attempt to create another heist moment, but this time Roman stops. And that's
Mhm.
that's
That all makes sense, and it would coincide with what Roman's doing now, which is kind of trying to rewrite the history between him and Seth, and like get back on all the moments that Seth got him over the years. So yeah, that would make a lot of sense. It would make a lot of sense. Like, just wait for the bell to ring, and he's about to do the stomp, and then Roman's music hits.
Yeah. No, but that's how I feel about those matches. I think that if it's not Seth to win,
I have no idea. If it's
it's
not
not
Seth,
Seth
I
to
truly
win,
have no
I
idea.
feel like the only person. But then again, it's hard to say because if tonight didn't happen, then I would say he has a better chance. But now with everything that transpired, I'm like, it might be going a different direction. But I would think that Solo needed that money to win. But now that we saw tonight with Jacob and JC Mateo, we know where this is at.
Yeah. That's definitely the next U.S. title feud, or the one we've been building to for God knows how long.
Or it's gonna, but it's gonna be good enough.
Oh no, for sure. They just been taking forever with it.
Yeah, but they had to keep the hype around Booker, and they had to show you how like every week they had to show you, like you saw it the minute he came out. When Solo was the tribal chief of the Timu bloodline, Jacob overpowered him. His presence overshadowed him instantly. So they had to give us time to milk that for Jacob to come into his own, and now that he has the title, you know. So I think I don't know. There's a lot up in the air with that, but I think that's why I am with the Cena and Logan situation. I'm just glad they're not facing these guys one-on-one. I know if that was the case, they would be crowning Logan this weekend, and I would be livid.
I'd be sick. I'd be sick to my stomach.
Sick to my stomach. Jey Uso. Go through all hell to create the career that he created. To find his own to breaking from the pack, breaking from a tag team. Intercontinental to be the longest reigning, one of at one point for the world heavyweight to then just pass Logan Paul, all because Benny.
Oh my God!
The cycle is crazy. So, just you got 2 more matches left. So I'm gonna go with the women's Intercontinental title match, because I know that's probably the match you probably care least about, honestly.
But I'm just like, this is easy.
Yeah. So who's your pick for this match?
Let's go big time Bex. Let's get her a belt she hasn't had before.
I've never felt so alone in my life. I've never felt so abandoned by all of you. This is just
I'm here, man. I will never abandon you. Okay. No matter what. But in this case, maybe we're not in agreement. Yeah, I think Becky. It's Team Becky, not Team Bird Lady. Lyra still needs a little more seasoning and refreshment.
Mm-hmm.
A little reset. Because I feel like they put the IC title on her too soon. It should have went to the Dakota, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, Becky. I like when Becky this version of herself. She doesn't have anything else to do, but this is a title she hasn't had. So and let's see Lyra chase it.
So finally, who is your pick for the women's Money in the Bank? Which I personally think this is the hardest one to call right now.
This is the match of the night. But no matter what, this is the match of the night. Tonight's match with the
6-woman tag. God.
The non-stop.
Lord.
I need that energy tomorrow. I need a co-main event because I know why they won't make it the main event. But this better not open the show.
This shouldn't open the show because there is no women's. Well, that and there's no women's Money in the Bank match on the card.
Right.
So if you put the women up first, then you know that like nothing's probably going to happen for the main event. If you put the men's up, at least you make the main event more interesting because both champions are in the main event.
I do like the fact that they don't have championship matches in this.
Yeah.
So that way we can focus on the money in the bank. And you give chance for a different kind of title to be defended, like one that's not in the year this year. You just introduced it, the Intercontinental Champion.
Hey Jay, mute yourself.
You had the Goddess, you have Mommy, you got the Beautiful Madness, you got La Primera, you have Naomi, And who am I missing? Why am I drawing a blank?
Roxanne.
Oh, of course. Ugh, Councilman will kill me for that. And then you have the fucking prodigy, the workhorse of NXT women's division, one of the pillars of the reason why it became the women's division in its current state. This is knowing when I knew that Rhea and Alexa were in it, I'm like, fuck, this is not good. Like, who are we making way for? And then with seeing the wave of the women that moved up from NXT, and you could tell, like you could tell that air left that room. You know what I mean? The air was thick with those 4 or 3 or whatever. And now 2 of them are in this match. I'm regardless of all of that, I'm going with Team Naomi. I want Team Caution in the bank. I want to see the Money in the Bank briefcase wrapped in caution tape. We've been saying it till we're blue in the face, pretty much. She definitely should be the one to get that briefcase. She definitely has earned it. It would be a great way to put her back into the title picture the way she deserves. And the mind games that this girl will play while having that contract in her possession, woo, it's just writing itself, because she has bones to pick with every single one of these girls on this roster for all kinds of reasons. And they could all get the smoke. So Team Naomi, proceed with caution. However, if something were to change, I have a plan B pick. The way they're shooting this rocket on this girl, man. Stephanie, fuck yeah, man. La Primera. I'm excited for her rise, and I'm excited for how well she's been doing. She's definitely just keeps leveling up people around her, and she keeps elevating herself. She just gets better and better with time, and she's part of a really good division. She's where she wants to be, you could tell. Stephanie would be my next pick if it's not Naomi, though. So yeah.
The only knock I have on Stephanie right now is because I saw the interaction between Zelina and Julia, and I think that there's a stronger case for Julia and Stephanie to help enhance that mid-card division and strengthen that title, while all the other storylines kind of get wrapped up at the top, because there's too many storylines, and Stephanie, to me, her English just it's not there yet. I need a little better sentence construction and emotion behind what she's saying, instead of her just like speaking like from a cue card.
Stephanie, right?
Yeah, Stephanie.
Okay.
I get what
Like
you're saying.
that's the only knock. That's the only knock for her right now.
But you know what's crazy? I think that's her niche, though. I think that's her thing. Like, there's superstars, that have that Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? They have that charisma. They get you going. That music hits the crowd, blah, blah, blah. They feel it. They're high-fiving you. They're all over the place. My girl, Stephanie Bigger Hair, don't need to do none of that. She don't need to do anything. She just comes out there, stone face, one of the hardest theme songs I've ever heard. And then she's got these ram horns. There's red and smoke, and she's just coming out stone face, just ready. And she's just like this, basically telling you, I don't give a damn about your smiles. I don't give a damn about this and that. I don't give a damn about being happy to be here. I'm about this work. So who won it? Like I like that. So it's kind of like sometimes in certain cases with her stars, there's that less is more. And take Undertaker for example, and I'm not putting her in the same category as that, but I'm just saying take Undertaker for example, where everybody else was moving and jumping off shit and moving fast and flipping. He was moving slow and methodically. Like her shit, like you could tell she hones in on her craft, like to the point where every single step is intentional and she like it's sacred to her. This shit is something that she's been doing since she was 10 years old. 10 years old. And she's still young. So I could make a case for Stephanie to be a pick to win the Money in the Bank, and I wouldn't be mad at it.
Two things. One, she reminds me of like early NXT Shayna, where Shayna really didn't have to do much. She just came in, wrecked shop, and kept it pushing. Two, Triple H needs to call you to just be her mic until she can learn English, so that you can just sit out there and cut her promos for her, and just have her stand there with the finger.
I mean, she'll get there. And Julia's doing great.
I mean, she's doing better than I expected her to do.
They can't help.
I know, that's what I mean. So it still sounds robotic to me. And that's really like my only knock, is it's really robotic. And the only person I can compare them to, unfortunately, is Asuka. Where like Asuka, I didn't really understand what she was saying, but I understood what she was saying because of the passion that she was saying it with. So like Asuka, you get what I mean? Like Asuka was always entertaining, and it's always like when she was speaking English, it sounded funny at first, but because she found a cadence that worked for her, it almost became like the menacing clown thing. Like that really became a thing where it's like, yeah, it's funny because I can't speak English, but I'm saying all this wild shit towards you. And you're just like, yo, is she serious? Like, what the fuck did she just say? And then she'll turn around and backhand you, and you just be like, oh, God.
All right. Let's be real. We could give them a chance. We could give Stephanie Vaquera and Julia a chance. But what we will not give a chance, and what I won't give a chance, is the Lyra Valkyria with that mic.
No.
She was like a rat with a sneeze, and I couldn't just let her do it.
She had the sucker and succotash moment. She definitely had her suffer and succotash moment.
I went you should have seen my face and I texted y'all as soon as I heard it. I said, "What the? Get this mic out her hand."
I was dumbfounded. I was like, "Oh no!"
And this is no way disrespect to Lyra Valkyria. This is just my really strong opinion because I want her to kill it. You know, I've interviewed her. I've seen, we saw her capability in NXT as well. Like she was killing it, but it's just like I wanted to take my hands and put them through the TV, grab the mic and break it in front of her and just drop it and put my hands back in through the TV. So bad. I was just like, she did not just say that.
I think she's 100% a case of someone they've tried to push too hard too soon. Like she's in a lot of ways like what they did with Apollo Crews, where they just like threw them. Where it's like, oh, we're gonna put a title on you, we're gonna skyrocket you, and fans are just like,
it's feeling like
it's like I'm not like I didn't get her that much in NXT. Like I was just starting to get comfortable with her in NXT.
Yes.
When she started doing the promos, because the problem is her out of ring persona and her in ring persona don't match.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm hearing you talk and I know you lying to me. Like I know you lying to me. You're lying. Because it's like you can't tell me, oh, I'm the girl from Ireland, blah 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 blah, and then oh, I'm a Valkyrie. Like, pick one. Just pick one. And I feel like that's crowd noise, honestly, because I don't think people really be catching on that, and it'd be like one or two people that just be
only
mad.
NXT.
Like, oh my god.
Only NXT. Only NXT was doing that, and you can hear it better because it's the performance.
Yeah, that was my whole thing with her, is that like, and then like WrestleMania, she came out with like the full like wings, looking like the chick from freaking What If. She's out here looking like Birdie from What If. I'm like, what is this? What are we doing? Like
I don't
they
know.
should have leaned into her being a Viking or like a Viking Valkyrie, not I'm a bird. I'm
Right.
gonna fly.
Like
I
you
don't-
should be that Viking Valkyrie mixed with what Sarah Logan was supposed to be doing.
Exactly. Like it should be more battle cry and less whiny 20-something-year-old girl that wants approval.
I think
'Cause
like
that's what it feels like.
my biggest issue with her is when you have her up against somebody like Becky. Like you can see the difference. Not even so much as in what she's saying. You can hear the difference in the power of their voices. Lyra's voice is, I don't want to say it's soft, but you know Becky has like all kinds of mic control. And you can hear like the actual impact of the words that come out. Even when she starts speaking like this, when she starts enunciating the different stuff, you can hear the actual like strength in her voice and everything like that. And like literally with Lyra, her voice is like, I hate saying it like this because this is going to come off as very fucking misogynistic, but her voice is very weak.
Acting classes. That's the difference. Acting classes. Becky took acting classes.
Well, the other thing is, I'm not sure.
Projection and stuff like that.
I'm not sure like what Lyra's what her what she did before WWE, but a lot of the other thing is just like, and you can see this with a lot of different people, is WWE promo classes ass.
Ever since Dusty died. Even on LFG you can see it. And I know you probably haven't watched LFG, but on LFG you can see it.
I love it. I love that.
I loved LFG, but like even looking at those people and how they've debuted, you can tell they put them through the ringer between the time that the show ended and when it aired and when they debuted. They've been putting in mad work. But like the promo classes and stuff, like they need somebody who really knows how to cut promos down there. And I don't know who's teaching it since Dusty died, but like, woo. It's like either you come in with it or you don't, because
You need guy.
You
I mean, you got him. You need. If you're teaching a promo class, you better be somebody like Shawn Michaels. If you're teaching a promo class, you better be CM Punk. Like if you're teaching a promo class, you better be on some like.
and that's the problem. You don't
Miz.
have
Like
Yes,
those
I mean,
are
you
promo
don't-
class people.
you don't have any of those guys that can be at the performance center consistently with those classes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have anybody ever since Dusty died. You just don't. You don't have a person that's really great on the mic.
I mean, you
That
got
can
you
be
have
teach.
like the underrated ones. You have like William Regal. You have legends around. You know, like Triple H himself. Remember. There's other names that we're not even thinking of.
I mean, maybe, but like that class really needs a refresh because it just feels like the more we see of these people that they're trying to push through the pipeline, like that's the weakest thing. It's either character work or it's promo work. Because like you look at Austin Theory. Austin Theory should not be struggling the way he is, but it's because even through NXT, we never figured out who Austin Theory was. We still don't know who Austin Theory is.
We all figured it out, but they were trying to force him down our throats. As a result, what happened, and then even more on top of that, Vince, Daddy gone.
Yeah, and then again with Lyra, it's well, who are you? Or I know who you're supposed to be,
right?
But who are you? Like I don't know who you are, so anything you say, I don't believe you.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
that's how she hasn't found it.
How I felt before Roxanne got on this Prodigy kick. Like she was going through. I wouldn't say she was going through intentionally. I just think that there was like this little period where it got a little stagnant and wavering, and it was like, where are we going with Roxanne? Because she was the good girl. She was the face. But then she had to pivot it and turn it around and turn heel and turn into the Prodigy. Had to change it up. The first Two times I
times I
saw her
saw her
after
after
that
that
came,
came.
I didn't
I
believe
didn't
her at
believe her
first.
at first.
But when she
But when
started
she
doing those
started doing
vignettes
those
where she was
vignettes,
sitting
and
there
she was
talking
sitting there
shit
talking shit
about
about
not meeting your
meeting your
mentors
mentors
and
and
listen to
listen
your mentors
to
and
your
just being
mentors and
happy
just
to
being
be
happy
here.
to
But I
be here. But I
realized
realized
my mentors
my
don't know
mentors
shit.
don't know
And
shit.
you know what I
You
mean?
know what I mean?
She
She
completely changed it up, and I'm
completely
just
changed
like,
it up, and I'm
okay,
just like,
now
okay,
this
now this
I believe.
I believe.
This I
Yeah,
can
and
get on
This I
board
can get
with.
on
And
board
her
with. And her
attitude started
attitude started
changing.
changing.
And then she
And then she
became
became
what we're
what we're
seeing her
seeing
as
her
now.
as
And
now.
absolutely
Absolutely
blossom it.
blossom it.
So
So
you're telling me
So
Lyra needs a heel turn, is what you're telling me.
I feel like
I
that's
feel like
somewhere they
that's
should have
somewhere they
went
should have
instead
went
of
instead
Becky
of
doing
Becky
it.
doing it.
Yeah.
But
But
Lyra's not.
Lyra's not.
She's not edgy enough.
She's not.
She's not. Oh,
I want to say
I
this
want to say this
correctly. I don't want to
correctly.
say
I
this
don't want to
because
say
it's
this
gonna
because it's
offend.
gonna offend.
She's
She's
got
got
to
to
tap
tap in
to her.
to
I
her.
guess the
I guess the
easiest way to say it
easiest way
would
to
be
say it would
tap
be
into her
tap
dark
into her
side.
dark side.
Like she needs to
Like she
tap
needs to
into
tap
like
into
her
like her
aggression.
aggression.
She needs to
She
tap
needs to
into the
tap
things
into the
that
things
piss
that
her
piss
off.
her
What used
off.
to
What
piss her
used to
off in the
piss her off in the
past as a
past as a
kid, or
kid,
like, or
or you know, like
what things
what
people
things
say to
people
her
say
that
to
she
her that
couldn't
she
stand, or
couldn't stand, or
people,
people,
like
like
it's hard to
it's
put
hard to
myself
put
in that
yourself
place,
in
and
that
I'm
place,
and I'm
and I'm
probably
and I'm
saying it
probably
all
saying it
wrong,
all
but it's just
wrong.
like
But
she
it's
needs
just
to
No,
like
no,
she
tap
needs
no.
to
into
tap
like a
into
certain
like a
kind of
certain kind of
edginess,
like
like you need to
like you
find
need
a
to
way
find
to
a
do
way to
what
do
Sting
what
did.
Sting did.
Yeah.
You need to
You
find
need
a
to
way
find
to
a way to
do
do like
to be
to
like the
be like the
crow,
crow,
where
Yeah.
you're
where
not
you're not
necessarily the
necessarily the
good
good
guy,
guy,
but you're not
but you're not
necessarily the
necessarily the
bad
bad
guy,
guy.
but you
But
watch
you watch
everything
everything
and you
and
kick
you
ass
kick
from time
ass
to
from
time
time to
if
time
somebody
if somebody
crosses you.
crosses you.
You know, like
You know, like
everybody
everybody
knows not to
knows not
mess
to
with the
mess
bird
with the
lady.
bird lady.
You should be
You
that
should be
lady.
that lady.
Like you
Like you
seen
seen
video
video
games
games
like
like
Horizon
Horizon
and shit
Mhm.
like
and
that.
shit
You
like
know,
that.
there's
You
always
know,
like
there's
a
always
big
like a
bird
big
boss
bird
or big
boss or big
dragon shit
dragon
that you
shit
gotta
that you
beat.
gotta beat.
You need to
You
be
need
that,
to be that,
Lyra.
And that's
Lyra.
and that's the thing. She's also small in stature, so it doesn't help. So you have to make yourself seem bigger than you are, and more like I think a part of that too has been her booking, because you haven't put her against anyone that is so physical that it pushes her to a limit. Like you almost have to break her to really get into the root of who she is. Like kind of like what they did with Jay, because we were saying the same thing about Jay until that Hell in a Cell match with Roman, and you saw the journey of like Roman breaking this man until he got. It's like he broke him to build him up, and then he had to break away. The problem with Lyra is like you came in and you're supposed to be this majestic, mystic thing, but it's like you're trying to be a superhero, but there's no crime.
Yeah.
Like there's no.
Yeah.
It's like it's like
That's the perfect
That's
way
the
to
perfect
put
way
it.
to put it.
it's just like, well, what are you doing here? Who are you? Why are you here? Like there's no reason for this.
I feel
I
like
feel like
Lyra, you're giving
you're
us
giving us
your
your
Lyra
Lyra
Valkyria, and the size of the bird that you are is baby Arix.
Arix.
Okay,
Okay.
we need you
We
to
need you
be
to be
Vagar.
Vagar.
We need you to
We need
be
you to be
the biggest,
the biggest
dragon bird lady Valkyrie on the planet, and be the baddest, and just bash him and beat up, and you know
you know
You know
that
who they
Irish
needed?
wrestling kick-ass shit.
You know who they really needed to have her feud with,
Mm.
and they needed to revamp her character, but they released her, unfortunately? Shayna. They needed for her to have a long feud where Shayna just jacked her up and took her to her absolute limit.
I felt
I
like
felt like
bringing
bringing
Bailey
Bailey
to be the
to
person,
be the person
for her to beat when she was still an NXT champion.
champion.
Like I feel like
doing that,
they could have still
could have
kept
still kept
capitalizing on
capitalizing
that.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
I
like
feel like
you could have kept
could have
Lyra
kept Lyra
Valkyria as
Valkyria
the champion a
champion
little longer, and had
and had
women like
women like
you know
you know
Rhea Ripley come down there,
there.
Mhm.
or
Or
Shayna Baszler come down there.
there.
You had
You
Becky,
had
you
Becky,
had
you had
Bailey.
Bailey.
I would have
I would
liked
have
to
liked to
have
have
seen.
seen.
I even would have liked to have seen like Bianca or
I
Naomi.
would have
I
liked
would
to
have
have
liked to
seen
have seen
Asuka
Asuka.
return
Yeah.
to
to
NXT
NXT
and challenge Lyra for
Lyra
an
for
NXT
an
title
NXT
shot, because that would have put Lyra over. You beat the streak,
Yeah.
like you
Like
beat the woman who recreated the streak. So it's
So
like,
it's like
I felt
They-
like it could have been more of that that could help Lyra build up instead of now. I feel like you just gotta rely on Becky.
Yeah. And that's a part of the problem too, is that like we can't keep recycling the same people that you think are gonna build your younger talent. It's like we need the younger talent to face the younger talent too. Like we need people that are gonna push your champions.
You need Roxanne versus Rhea Ripley. You need
Yeah.
Julia and Stephanie versus Alexa Bliss. And all the women in that match are still very, very much in their prime, y'all.
Yeah, and honestly,
all of them.
I feel like that with all the titles though, because like you need Roxanne to feel like Zelina Vega's title is important, or that Lyra's title is important. You need those people to because if they start to feel it's important and they start to move like it's important, then it's gonna make us care about those titles.
I'm more than convinced that the United States Championship is extremely important. Even before it got to Zelina.
I mean, Chelsea elevated it to a degree, but my problem is the pool of challengers has been lackluster compared to the talent on the women's roster. That is my problem.
I get that.
It's like I get that
That's
you're trying to
why
build
we
them.
got these first contenders.
We need them, but
Julia's making her way for a US title shot. It's happening.
I need Alexa Bliss to go after some of these. Like, if you're gonna use your legends, I need your legends to go after the mid card.
I'm gonna need them to figure out what they want to do with Alexa Bliss.
That too.
Y'all
'Cause
don't know what's happening?
listen, Bo Dallas just came back and cut that crazy vignette today, which I think is what they're moving now towards. Because again, the reason why Alexa hasn't been doing anything is because Bo was hurt, and now that they're putting the Wyatt Six in the tag division, and those women's tag titles still exist, I think we kind of need to start moving and shaking that way. Personally,
Agree.
I wouldn't be against it, but again, you've already set up her doing something with Charlotte. That's what I'm saying. I think they need to figure out what they're going to do with her.
You can set up one of two things. You could do that. You could put her in a tag division. If you want to team her up with her former partner, who's part of Wyatt Six. I get that. However, do you think it'd be better to do that, or do you think it'd be better to do it with them going on? Because I personally think it makes a better story if Uncle Howdy is holding a grudge on Alexa Bliss.
interesting.
Like the last time we saw them interact, he said to her, "You think you're in control." So she thinks she's in control of everything right now. She thinks she has a case to get the Money in the Bank briefcase. But what if we take it back a bit? I'm not sure what the year was. I can't remember. But I remember a moment in time where there was a Money in the Bank match. A men's Money in the Bank match. Where a certain Roman Reigns was climbing up a ladder. This is Big Dog Roman. And as he's climbing up the ladder, he's about to reach for that briefcase at the top. And the lights go out. Lights come back on. Bray Wyatt's at the bottom, looking up at him with the ladder in his hand, pushing him off. Therefore, making Roman's moment ruined, and therefore creating. I forgot who capitalized on it, but yeah. I feel like we could take that and do that with Nikki, while Alexa's about to go grab the briefcase.
I can see it. I don't.
So instead of joining beefing,
I would rather that. I really would rather that. We know where Alexa
Alexa's
Bliss's heart truly lies with Wyndham and that whole family. We know that. But I'm just saying, this is Uncle Howie. This isn't Wyndham.
This isn't Wyndham. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Uncle Howie.
That's true. That's true. Well,
Uncle Howdy's out to right the wrong of everyone that hurt his brother's feelings.
well, I think that's a nice place to end it. We all have things we need to do. I know Miss Honey needs to get on with, being famous and amazing and doing all those things while also working a 9 to 5. Or a 5 to 9. So, and she's been podcasting probably damn near all day. So, the first lady needs to get her rest. So, thank you guys for joining us. Any last words, anyone?
I'm about to make my honey mad at me again.
Oh damn! I'm gonna mute this. I'm gonna let y'all go because we gonna.
It's not as bad as the other one, but I have one small disagreement when it comes to Stephanie.
It's not as
where
bad.
it is that I don't know what you're talking about, but this very small disagreement that I have is that I think, and it's not to this extreme. It is not to this extreme. I want to put that shit out there, but I do think she needs an upgrade in her theme because what I see with her is it's it's to me it's a little generic or whatever. And I think the upgrade that she would need is from, like, let's say, I don't know if you remember Paige's NXT theme to where she goes to the newer one. Give me that upgrade with her and then shoot her ass to the moon.
Okay. Cool.
That was far more tame than I thought it was gonna be.
I still don't forgive you.
Well, I appreciate y'all taking the time out to join us. It's been a long day. It's been a fun run. It's always good to catch up with you guys.
Yes.
Follow us on Sports Market Analysts on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. And I'm just going to leave the floor open for the almighty famous ones who just plug all of her socials and things. Because we probably going to be here for another, 20 minutes.
No. Wrestling with Honey on all the socials, guys. Same old. This is the same old me. I keep my feet on the ground around here. Wrestling with Honey, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Wrestling with Honey podcast. Launching later this year, by the end of the year, and WrestlingWithHoney.com also launching around the same time. Women's Wrestling Talk as well, Monday, Fridays for SmackDown Watch Along, and every weekend with the Kayfabe podcast. And of course, every now and again when I can, I get back to my brother's here for some good old-fashioned wrestling talk for the Heat and Sports Market Analyst. Thank y'all for having me.
And boom, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our stream tonight. Like, comment, subscribe. We love you guys. If you hate us, we love you. If you love us, we love you. Leave a comment, share the stream, let us know what you think, let us know if we suck. Because we probably do. Technical difficulties last 20 minutes. Stream's probably gonna suck, but I digress.
It's entertaining as hell.
It is. With that, enjoy Money in the Bank 2025, and we are out of here.
Fuck you, love. The truth shall set you free.